Hey guys, this is Adrian and I'm a homeschooling mother of two 14-year-olds, and today I'm going to share with you a thrift haul of books. This was actually done maybe 3 or 4 different trips of the book of the Goodwill. I think most of them came from Goodwill, some from Savers. If you haven't heard of Savers, it's similar to Goodwill, but their prices are a little higher, but they do have deals where they get like 5 books. If you get 5, you get 1 for free. So when you're picking 6, you get 1 free. So it almost evens out the price. But I'll just go ahead and show you what I got. These are, again, like I said, from different trips to the store. So first one I picked up was Speak by Lori Halls Anderson. We've read a few others from her, and I really enjoyed this one. I'm going to read the back. It says, the groundbreaking novel that changed everything. I am outcast. The kids behind me laugh so loud I know they're laughing at me. I can't help myself. I turn around, and it's Rachel, surrounded by a bunch of kids wearing clothes that most definitely did not come from the East Side Mall. Rachel Bruin, my ex-best friend. She stares at something above my left ear. Words climb up my throat. This was the girl who suffered through brownies with me, who taught me how to swim, who understood about my parents and who didn't make fun of my bedroom. If there is anyone in the entire galaxy I am dying to tell what really happened, it's Rachel. My throat burns. Her eyes meet mine for just a second. I hate you, she mouths silently. So it says, Melinda Sordino's freshman year is off to a horrible start. She busted an end of summer party by calling the cops, and now her friends and even strangers all hate her. Months pass and things aren't getting better. She's a pariah, the lowest of the low, avoided by everyone, but eventually she'll reveal what happened at the party, and when she finally speaks the truth, everything will change. So this one was $3.99 at Goodwill. I think it was in the Amazon picks. I think this is written in verse. No, not in verse, I don't think. I don't know, kind of. It's a little different than just a regular chapter book. There's that one. Okay, another one I picked up was The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. It says art by Ellen Forney. Both of these were National Book winner and finalist. Okay, this one says, Junior is a budding cartoonist growing up on the Spokane Indian Reservation. Born with a variety of medical problems, he is picked on by everyone but his best friend. Determined to receive a good education, Junior leaves the res to attend an all-white school in the neighboring farm town where the only other Indian in the school is the mascot. Despite being condemned as a traitor to his people and enduring great tragedies, Junior attacks life with wit and humor and discovers a strength inside of himself that he never knew existed. Inspired by his own experience growing up, award-winning author Sherman Alexie chronicles the contemporary adolescence of one unlucky boy trying to rise above the life everyone expects him to live. And so it has a few, like a mix of things like lists, and there's a couple notebook pictures, maybe a little comic in there. This one is to finish off what I found before. I have book 1 and book 3, so I finally found book 2. These were hard to find, but I wanted them for when we get into American history again, to go over Martin Luther King and the Walk for Freedom. So this is a graphic novel, by the way. I know this one for sure. Oh, so here's the other two. So I have book 1 and book 3, so now it'll complete my collection of the graphic novels. So here's just some pictures. I'm sorry. This is by John Lewis, Andrew Aiden, and Nate Powell. The back, oh, this one I got from Savers for $4.99. Oh, the Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian was $3.99 at Goodwill. Most of the time when I pick a $4 book from Goodwill, it's usually because that's the color of the day. So I probably did not spend $4 on these, probably $2 on both of these. This one I spent $4 or $5. It says, With March, Congressman John Lewis takes... Oh, sorry, the sticker's in the way. I just noticed that. I actually like Savers stickers better than Goodwill because they don't stick as hard and makes as much of a mess as the Goodwill ones. Okay, there we go. That's enough. With March, Congressman John Lewis takes us behind the scenes of some of the most pivotal moments of the civil rights movement. In graphic novel form, his first-hand account makes these historic events both accessible and relevant to an entire new generation of Americans. That was said by LeVar Burton. And this is John Lewis. Here. Okay, this one I got at Goodwill. This is by Rick Riordan, Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. This is another series, like Percy Jackson, but this one is about like Thor. So this one was a hardback book. I think this one was $2.99. This one I actually got at the Salvation Army. And this one is like brand new condition. So this is the books. We are, well, my daughter really likes Rick Riordan books. We have the whole 2 sets of Percy Jackson books already. And so I've just been collecting as I see them, series similar to that one. This one, these next group of books, these 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's 4. I mean, there might have been another one. These I got at a library book sale. So I got all 4 of these for $1 for the whole group. So we're going to be doing some survival skills this coming year. So I got a book on knots. It says the Adler Cole's Book of Knots. So it showed some good pictures. So that's why I got this one. This is about World War II, about Japanese internment camps. This is called So Far from the Sea by Eve Bunting. This is the older book, but I had been looking for them. If I find Eve Bunting books, especially if they're very well priced, I will grab them. I really like her picture books. I still use them. I'll just read the afterward section to you guys. In 1942, 2 months after the Japanese bombed United States warships at Pearl Harbor, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order Number 9066. It stated that all people of Japanese ancestry living on the west coast of the United States must be placed in relocation camps. Many of those interned were American citizens. Manzanar in East California was the very first of 10 war relocation centers. It had a population of approximately 10,000. In this story, it is 1972, and the Iwasakis go back to visit the camp where their father was interned for 3.5 years. The Iwasaki family is fictional, but there are thousands of American citizens of Japanese ancestry with the same kinds of memories. Manzanar was closed in 1945, and its buildings were sold at auction. The area where the camp stood is now a National Historic Site. The small cemetery is still there, though. Here's some. So this one. So I found these 2 math textbooks. I guess this is a teacher edition on Algebra 1. So whenever I see something for high school math, I do grab it just in case, I'm having trouble explaining to the kids or they not understanding how the concepts are being taught, so that I have something else I could read to them and maybe it'll click with them. So that's just this one. So it shows actually the workbook for, I guess, that the student would have, or the worksheets, but it's good. I can use this for helping me to teach and explain things. This is by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, Encore Mathematics. And I found these Keys to Success. It says level 3, but this is basically also like, I would say pre-algebra mixed like in between the pre-algebra to algebra stage. I was just looking at the what it has. Like here it says summer school, after school, or exploration programs. So like maybe for struggling kids, but this is good practice. I mean, it starts off with like base 10 and basic numbering into the millions. Then it goes into squares. So 13 squared and things like that. And then from there it goes into, let's see, what's data, like like kind of like a statistics, I guess, scatter plots, plotting things, how to read data on charts. So that's this. Then stem and leaf plots. Medium and mean. Box plots and more medians. And then converting like miles to gallons and different weights. And then ratios, finding different ratios. A little bit on maps here. Oh, area. So they haven't done stem plots and things with pre-algebra, but they have done other stuff. Like they've used formulas and they know how to plot on a basic chart like that. But so some formulas for geometry. I think this will help, and if they need extra work pages to go along with what we're learning about, this will help. Order of operations, tessellations, areas and triangles. They were doing a little bit of that at the end of the year, this year. All right, so another one I picked up, I think this was Goodwill, A Separate Piece by John Knowles. The afterword is by David Levithan. It says, set a boys' boarding school in New England during the early years of World War II. A Separate Piece is a harrowing and luminous parable of the dark side of adolescence. Jean is a lonely, introverted intellectual. Phineas is a handsome, taunting daredevil athlete. What happens between the two friends one summer, like the war itself, banishes the innocence of these boys and their world. It says a bestseller for more than 50 years, A Separate Piece is John Knowles' crowning achievement and undisputed American classic. I think I've seen this on a list somewhere, a book list, but for World War II. And we've read a bunch of World War II ones because we did a whole little unit in the beginning of 8th grade. But when we get back to it in high school, I wanted to, get some new books. This one I picked up, but I wasn't sure if I actually owned it. I might have this already. Paper Towns by John Green. But this is, even if it's not for me to read, I might still read it with the kids because it has a movie. So it's a good book and movie type of novel. This one says, Quentin Jacobson has spent a lifetime loving the magnificent Margot Roth Spiegelman from afar. So when she cracks open a window and climbs back into his life, summoning him for an ingenious campaign of revenge, he follows. When their all-nighter ends and a new day breaks, Margot has disappeared. But Q soon learns that there are clues, and they're for him. Embarking on an exhilarating adventure to find her, the closer Q gets, the less he sees the girl he thought he knew. I picked up recently some things for Spanish, and I saw this one, Spanish for Gringos. Gringos, well, here's the definition. Gringos means alternate to Greek, stranger, a foreigner in Spain or Latin America, especially when a person is of English or American origin. So it says, learn spoken Spanish without taking a course. If you don't have time to take a formal language course, here's a good alternative. This quick learning method helps you understand spoken Spanish and enables you to speak the language so that you can understand. Currently, there are nearly 30 million Hispanics in the United States. You need to communicate in Spanish if you are in business, in a public sector, a social worker, a doctor, a lawyer, an educator. Okay. Has helpful line drawings and amusing cartoons. Sorry, it's a Barron's book. So I thought this one might be good for the kids too. There's a lot of vocab. This one at Goodwill. how much because the price is messed up. Narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass. So for high school, of course. I think this probably came from like a book shark or something, because the way it's set up, this is not like the one you would buy at the regular store, but it might be shortened, or at least maybe what's it called, abridged, which is fine by me to read the abridged version. It says, the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass is an 1845 memoir and a treatise on abolition, written by famous orator and former slave Frederick Douglass during the time in Lynn, Massachusetts. It is generally held to be the most famous of a number of narratives written by former slaves during the same time period. In factual detail, the text describes the events of his life and is considered to be one of the most influential pieces of literature to fuel the abolitionist movement of the early 19th century in the United States. Narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass encompasses 11 chapters that recount Douglass's life as a slave and his ambition to become a free man. So yeah, it must be shortened. So it's better for my kiddos. Oh, this I picked up for my son, The Ultimate Guide to Spider-Man. He really likes Spider-Man, so this is just everything on the movies, I think, and probably the comics. But I thought he might enjoy this and just keep it for his collection. Oh, I picked that up for $1.99. This one was $3.99. Again, I probably got it for $2. Oh, actually, you know what? I think for sure I picked this up for $4 because I've been looking for this for the past 2 years and have never found it. So when I saw it, I just took it. This one is a Build Your Library recommendation. I seen it on her high school levels, so that is why I grabbed it. I'm not really, I know it's about World War II and the Nazis, and I think, yeah, it's a graphic novel. I think this might be both. Oh, somebody left some notes. Oh, a lot of notes. I think this might be 2 books in one, because I think there's a Mouse 1 and 2. But it looked like there was a section in between here that was like a different part. It says Mouse, oh no, it is Mouse 1, A Survivor's Tale. My Father Bleeds History by Art Spiegelman. It says, winner of the 1992 Pulitzer Prize, Mouse is the story of Vladek Spiegelman, a Jewish survivor of Hitler's Europe, and his son, a cartoonist who tries to come to terms with his father's terrifying story, and history itself. Its form, the cartoon, the Nazis are cats and the Jews are mice. It succeeds perfectly in shocking us out of any lingering sense of familiarity with the events described, approaching, as it does, the unspeakable through the diminutive. It is, as the New York Times book review has commented, a remarkable feast of documentary detail and novelistic vividness, an unfolding literary event. Moving back and forth from Poland to Rego Park, New York, Mouse tells 2 powerful stories. The first is Spiegelman's father's account of how he and his wife survived Hitler's Europe, a harrowing tale filled with countless brushes with death, improbable escapes, and the terror of confinement and betrayal. The second is the author's tortured relationship with his aging father as they try to lead a normal life of minor arguments and passing visits against a backdrop of history too large to pacify. At all levels, this is the ultimate survivor's tale, and that too of the children who somehow survive, even the survivors. Part 1 of Mouse takes Spiegelman's parents to the gates of Auschwitz and him to the edge of despair. Put aside all your preconceptions. These cats and mice are not Tom and Jerry, but something quite different. This is a new kind of literature. It says, a brutally moving work of art. I need to take a sip of my coffee. Okay. I also found The Call of the Wild, 99 cents by Jack London. This one is an illustrated version, and that is why I picked it up. I like the pages are like yearbook, you know, like shiny, like picture pages, photograph pages. I really like it, and it's in color. I think this would be good addition to our little library for high school as well. It says the whole story. The reader becomes an explorer. Fiction becomes discovery. The world's best love stories brought to life in the full context of their eras. The whole story series, with its unique documentary approach, makes the classics accessible to new generations of readers, as well as to audiences wanting to reread or rediscover and newly appreciate these enduring popular stories. Their complete, unabridged text, as originally published, generously annotated with hundreds of extended captions, lively, succinct explanations of history, geography, social customs, the animal world, architecture, literature, and science, lavishly illustrated in color and black and white, featuring line drawings, maps, photographs, diagrams, paintings, many of which date from when the story was actually written. So other ones in the series are Around the World in 80 Days, The Jungle Book, and Treasure Island. So I might look for more of these. This says the whole story. Seems really interesting. It has some like this one I just picked up because we have a lot of Arthur books and we do not have the Arthur's Halloween. We have other like holiday ones, but so I picked it up. I think it's probably like 99 cents. We like I read these during the holiday season. Arthur and the Froggy books, the kids really enjoyed them growing up. Well, maybe I should read it. I mean, maybe you're not here for high school. Actually, I don't know if it has a little synopsis. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't have one. And the last thing I picked up, we're going to be doing some culinary culinary skills next year too. So I grabbed this Sandra Lee semi-homemade. This one is specifically for a slow cooker. We will start off our school year in the summertime, so I thought the slow cooker ones would be better because it is, well, we live in the desert and it is 100, like today, I think it's 102 today, and it's only beginning of June, so we get way into the hundreds here, 112 sometimes. So good. I picked this up. I think this was probably one of the half offs, so $1. But even if it was $2, is cheap. The only thing I'm not sure is, since this is semi-homemade, the kids are really trying to eat healthier, so we might have to make some, oh, they even have arroz con pollo, some adjustments into the things we buy that are not, homemade, like things from the store, like canned goods, and try to find an alternative, which is good practice for real cooking. So that is all that I picked up from the thrift stores recently. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.